Hello, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing my completion review and some framing and showing you some stuff because if I'm going to be framing and cutting things with my rotary cutter, I might as well do the other stuff too. So the completion review is going to be of this diamond painting here. This is called, of the diamond painting of this picture here. This is called Autumn Hills by Natalia Zagorii. I got this from Crystal Canvas Art Designs for $28 back in May. It's a 40 by 50 full drill with 34 colors, and these are all crystal rhinestones. Crystal Canvas Art Design does do pretty much all crystal rhinestones, and I thought the rendering was fine. There were guide symbols. I put in some popping mainly because when I was doing this, it was hotter. Well, I did this in the beginning of September. It was hotter, so some of the drills were kind of sticking onto my skin sometimes, so I put that in, but I think it should be fine now that it's a little bit colder, at least for me. And I thought the canvas was fine, the drills were fine, the gapping was fine. I did make a comment that 6 and 8 were very hard to see on the canvas, like distinguish both of them. And the clouds were actually 82. So these clouds here on the picture was actually this gray color. And I had put it in some of it and then I was like, no. So I ended up getting one, which is not in this diamond painting. Which is not in that diamond painting, but is a very common color. It's this clear, and I had replaced that 82 with one because, and then after I started doing that, I should have done it for all. I just wrote that in. So this took me 6 days to complete, over 18 hours and 49 minutes. And I did do one section on a whip and chat. So here it is. Here is the diamond painting. See, this is what I meant by the cloud originally was this gray color here. And then I had switched it to this one, which makes it more of a white color. And I thought that it matched the picture a little bit more to do the one. And then after I did that, I was like, I should have replaced them all. But at some point, I already had the drills on there and I just didn't feel like taking them out. And I was like, okay, it's a nice sunny day here. This is showing the rain is coming. It's a gray. It's gray. And then this gray was also in the house here. So yeah, I'm thinking instead of the 82, it should have been rendered as 1 instead. That was one of the main things I thought when I was diamond painting this. I was like, I don't know about this gray here. But here it is. It's done. I think overall it turned out pretty nice here. It has some really pretty fall colors. The outlining ended up pretty good. The only thing is I really do think if I had realized it, I would have changed all of that gray color, which is in here too, to the white, to the clear 001. That's the main thing. I think this would have been awesome if that gray color was rendered as 1 as opposed to 82. And I think, yeah, you can see the difference. See, rain cloud, nice fluffy white cloud, rain cloud. And like I said, I could have changed it, but I didn't. I just after I did this cloud, I was like, okay, I think I need to change the other clouds to white. But otherwise, I think everything turned out fine. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it. There is very actually minimal gapping. So maybe that might have contributed to the popping, but when there is very minimal gapping, your drill placement looks great. Like, if you're ever wondering why your drill placement looks a little bit wonky, some of it might be skill, but some of it might be there's gapping. So when there's too much space between the drills, you do start looking, it does look, your placement does start looking a little wonky. So I thought since I multi-placed this and the drill placement looks great, Part of it might be skill, but part of it is there's very minimal gapping, so the stuff just shoves each other into place really well. So I am going to frame this, and I'm also going to frame a couple other things and put some things into my portfolio book. I'm going to frame this to put out during the fall. And I'm also going to frame my Halloween picture, which when I was looking, I was like, you know what? I haven't done a Halloween picture this year, and it's already October. There's no time for me to do a Halloween picture, so I'm just going to go get a Halloween picture done from last year or the year before, I don't know, but I'm going to frame that too. So I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to maybe move you up a little so you can see more. So I'm using this cutting board and a rotary cutter. It actually came as a set. It's an 18 by 24 inch cutting board. It came with the ruler, the cutting board, and the rotary cutter. And ever since I started cutting out my diamond paintings with the rotary cutter, I have not gone back to the scissors method. It was a viewer left a comment on one of my videos a while back about using a rotary cutter for the diamond paintings, and since I do pretty much cut out all of my diamond paintings, I don't store my diamond paintings with the legend and all that stuff. I put them into portfolios, or I frame them, and then eventually put them into portfolios. But since I've also noticed that I've been using a black tape on the side so that when I do cut it out, it's not so obvious if it's not cut out perfectly. And I think it's worked out a little bit. So there is that. And I use a black masking tape. Going to cut this legend out so I could put it on in my journal. Yes, I will use scissors for this. I have not found it easy to cut out when I'm only cutting out a short strip. And I cut out the legend so I could put it in my journal for future purposes in case, I run out or the drills fall out. This must be my first finish for September because it's in the front. Okay. And where's my double-sided tape? I do use double-sided tape to stick. I use double-sided tape a lot now. I use it in my multi-placers. I use it in my single placers, although it hasn't been doing as well in the single placers as it has been in my multi-placers. I use it to stick the canvases to my portfolio back, the black paper that I have in my portfolio books. And so, yeah. I can't believe I never tried doing the double-sided tape in my multi-placers because it's awesome. It's my favorite adhesive, I guess, to put onto my multi-placers now. And I feel like it's also the least messy. So I'm just putting this legend in here. Eventually, when I finish my journal, which I'll probably do after the end of October because I've been finishing up my journal every 2 months now. I'll have the picture of this, the finish, put over here. So I'm going to use, I have actually an old diamond painting here. I did this, I don't know, maybe sometime early, I don't know, I did this last year. I've had it framed for a while, and I figure it's time for it to change. This, where is, I'm going to pause for a bit. I'm trying to find something. Of course, after I paused, I found it right away. So this is a paint can opener. I use this a lot for my framing. And this is an IKEA frame, the Fiskbo IKEA frame, that's 16 by 20, which fits most of the time my diamond paintings. Let's see. That's 40 by 50. And okay, it's gonna be slightly too small. I was kind of thinking this might be the case. So okay, so this is an 18 by 24 inch piece of black construction paper. I'm just going to cut it smaller so that it can, so 18 by 24, so I need to take off 24, so 16 by 20. I need to take out 4 inches from here, so 4 inches this way. So that should be 20 now, and then 16. So this is 18, so I need to take out, just trying to line up the paper. Well, the paper is a little bit curved on that other side, or curled up on the corner, so I'm gonna cut over here so I need to take, so this is 18, so I need to take out 2 inches. Here. I'm just using the guide that's on the, maybe I should move you up. I'm using the guide that's on the board because it does have, man, I moved it a little bit. Let's see if it'll fit in the frame. My rotary cutter moved a little bit. I figure before I'm like, I'll recut it. Let's see if it fits. Nope, yeah, my rotary cutter moved a little bit in the 16 part, so I do need to cut this a little bit more. See, I have it a little bit too far there. Just need to make sure I hold on. paper moved. Okay. Okay. Messed up there a little bit. Let's see if it's good enough. And this is only because the diamond painting is just a tiny bit smaller than 16 by 20, because 4550 is a little bit smaller. So I think this should be good enough. It will fill up the page without, so I won't be able to see the backing. So I think that should be fine. And plus, I don't know if you realize, diamond paintings are heavy. So because they are heavy, they do shift a little bit sometimes when you have them on something. So let me move you up a little bit so you can see more of what I'm doing. Now I'm just going to use double-sided tape. This is just double-sided tape. I'm going to put it on the 4 sides of the diamond painting. I used to do like just 3 strips across, but I've noticed that that does tend to make it where the diamond painting will bulge depending on how it's put on. So I've since changed my tape strategy to do all four sides. But I don't go all the way to the edge on 2 of the sides. So I do, like I said, I do use a lot of double-sided tape. Okay. So I'm just trying to center it. So it's just a tiny bit smaller. The 40 by 50 is a tiny bit smaller than the 16 by 20 inch frame, because the 40 by 50 is in centimeters. A lot of the main sizes in the US are in inches. So there's usually no good equivalent of the 40 by 50, or like the diamond painting sizes, but it gets close. Like 40 by 50 is closest to the 16 by 20 inch frame. The 60 by 80 centimeter is a 24 by 32. 60 by 90 is closer to a 24 by 36. A 30 by 40, a real 30 by 40, is a 12 by 16 inch frame. And what other? A 30 by 30 is a 12 by 12 frame. 45 by 60 is an 18 by 24 inch frame. Okay. I don't know what this... What is this? Okay, there is some scratches, unfortunately, on the glass. Can't really help that. Or the plastic. That's this side is the top. Just making sure so that when I put this back, okay. So there is this one framed here. I think that looks really nice. It'll be up during the fall. Now I'm also going to frame this one for Halloween. I did this last year. This one is from Staror, I think. It didn't turn out as nice as I hoped, but it's good enough that it's my Halloween picture. I'm gonna use this frame here. It's one of those frames where you take off the sides here. And this is an 18 by 24 inch frame. If you are going to use one of these frames that have the sides on there, I recommend you go lighter. Bigger, because you won't be able to push the sides onto there. I just noticed, I don't know if you could tell, but my construction paper has faded a little bit, and you can see it's a little darker where the frame was on it. I've had that up for a while, like a while. Okay, the top of the frame is there. And I already have this on 18 by 24 inch construction paper. That's what you saw me cut earlier for the other one. So yeah, the other painting has been hanging up in my office for a while. I've been kind of neglecting my pictures, changing out the pictures at my office, just because it's effort to change out pictures. It's effort to bring them back and forth from home, the frames. And plus, I had recently moved offices earlier in the year, so it's just been one of those. I've been so busy. Okay. It's always harder to put these things in here. This is probably like the only time I'll show my face is when it's reflecting on this. It's reflecting. Okay. Because the cardboard started. But these kind of frames are pretty inexpensive, and I think once you use it once, it's much easier to use the second time. So here is my Halloween diamond painting framed. And because I have this out here, I'm gonna cut out my finished ones that I'm gonna put into my portfolio book here. This is actually the beginning of this one. I've already finished my last one. I do have some of these 11 by 14. This black paper is 11 by 14. This one is also an 11 by 14 that I took out whatever diamond painting was in here for a reason. I don't remember why. So I have some 11 by 14. This is a 12 by 16.5 inch one. So, but like I said, I already have some paper that's 11 by 14. So, and 11 by 14 is another common size of frame in the US. Okay, this one here. But I figure I already have the rotary cutter out. Let's go and finish up these ones. Unfortunately, I seem to still kind of move the canvas, even though I'm trying not to move the canvas. That's why I have the little adhesive dots. But Must be slippery. I might probably have to put in more weight. Yeah, so that I still see some white. So I need to cut a little bit more. I'll have to cut a little bit more because I see the white. Oh man, I cut that really horribly. I think I'm just gonna have to cut a lot more of the bottom here, which is okay. Okay, hold on to it. Oh man, is my blade getting dull? Maybe my blade is getting dull. I have used this a lot, or maybe I'm just not cutting correctly. I have used the blade a lot, so perhaps my blade is getting dull, and I'll have to replace the blade. I'm pretty sure I've seen blade replacements for relatively cheap. Okay, let's hope I'm a little bit better over here. I don't know, maybe I just wasn't pressing hard enough. So I did end up having to cut this a little bit more. Okay. You know, I think this one, the journal is my previous journal. Because yeah, I feel like it's in my previous journal and not in this one. So it must be towards the end. I could just look at the contents. It's... wow, it's actually not towards the end. It's 282. So I thought I put the picture in the middle because I didn't realize I had the legend. I just hadn't cut it out yet. So this video is kind of like a hodgepodge of stuff. Various things I do after a diamond painting is done. So yeah, when my journal is finished, I normally have the finished picture put up there with the legend and then all this information here. And someone asked me before, what are these stickers? This is my 282 finish and 86 for 2022. So yeah, this is... apparently I've sat on this one for a little bit. So yeah, the paper I said is 11 by 14. It does fit an 11 by 14. So these diamond paintings that are the 25 by 35 or like the 30 by 40 canvas size will fit the 11 by 14 frames. In case you're... it's just a little bit smaller, so you will have to either do this where you put the black backing or you cut a mat. Which I still haven't tried cutting the mat. I did get one from a viewer. I believe it was Tammy who sent me the mat cutting things. I've watched videos and then I think I'm just kind of weirdly intimidated by trying to do it myself. But I do plan to. I actually, my Heaven and Earth Designs one It's a bigger one, but it doesn't have a really good size. So I was going to use a 24 by 36 inch frame. And I bought a 24 by 36 inch mat that I was going to cut to do my fall time, or it's the almost winter Heaven and Earth designs when I finish it. So I already got the mat. So that's me trying to be brave. I'll probably test it out in a 40 by 50 first before I go crazy and do the 24 by 36 one. But yeah, I've watched a couple videos, but for whatever reason, it's just one of those kind of intimidating things. I don't know why. I won't do it on camera because I could totally see myself messing up. So I'd rather mess up in private. Or it'll just give me, I think the camera being on makes my brain stupid. There's times where I forget what words are and things like that. So here is my Pikachu that I got using a pattern from Birdie Stitching. And this was my test to see. I did this whole thing, except for the white background. I did this whole thing using my spare round drills, and it's on a blank white canvas. And I just did this mainly because I wanted to see how bad a diamond painting would look with the white background for a round. And doing this, I actually think it's not too bad. So I think I am going to do one of my Heaven and Earth designs. I'm going to use my round drills. I'm going to use my round drills to diamond paint it. And we will see. I mean, I have so many ongoing projects that I'm like, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm sure a lot of us are like that too, where we have so many ongoing projects that you want to finish, and whether they finish or not is another question answer. So this one is a small one. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna cut out. I think I've already cut out a couple. I think this is already a 12 by 16. Yeah, I've already cut out one, so I'll be able to put that in, and then another one on the bottom. I'll put like my 15 by 15s in here. So I'll just put that up here and leave space for another 15 by 15. I think I might just put two. Since it's so small, I really don't think it would bulge. But this was me trying to do my Heaven and Earth Designs one with the rounds. I put the grid on the back. I've already been trying to think of my game plan if I was going to do the Heaven and Earth Designs with the rounds. And I think what I was going to do, my game plan was, I was going to use one of these things, but then marker the every 10 squares. That way I don't have to draw the grid lines. I could just put them on here, and then this will make placing it really easy. I think, hopefully, maybe, I don't know. Although, I would have to skip a whole row here because it won't, this whole thing would be covered. Yeah, so that might not work. So in the end, I'd have to go back and do that one column. Okay, so my Pikachu here. Trying to keep it center. Okay. But I actually had some fun doing this one, so maybe I'll do another one. It did make my brain go a little bit crazy because the pattern had a square grid and then this had just a bunch of circles, and apparently that's enough to make my brain go crazy. So I do have my portfolio book here. This is actually going to be the first things that's in here. I filled up my last one already. I think that might be why I hadn't. I was just gonna wait till I had a couple. I had these ones already in the book, and I was just waiting to have a couple things. So yes, here is these two finishes here, and here is my Halloween picture. And the one that I actually am doing this completion review for. So that's all I have for today. So thank you very much for watching, and happy diamond painting. Bye. I'm gonna move you down so I could press stop.